Be making basics.
All right, y'all. So in this lecture, I wanted to give you some quick EQing tips, okay? Now, so far we've been doing subtractive EQing. The thing I really wanted to drive home here is that you want to only put the EQ on if the track needs it, or if the particular track or instrument track needs the EQing. Some of these instrument tracks, they don't need it, and so you don't have to, take anything away or boost anything. More than likely, most of these will need at least a little tux just to sweeten it up. But don't feel that you have to always do something to the track. This goes with adding, really doesn't even just apply to EQing, it applies to everything. Only do something when it is necessary, when you feel it's necessary. So for instance, if the kick, or for instance, say a certain instrument is not, really coming through in the mix, then that's when you might go ahead and boost a certain frequency, certain level of highs or mids to, make it come through. Now let's go ahead and go through an example of that. I'm going to go ahead and push play and listen to the track, and we're going to see if there's anything that's kind of tucked away that could be brightened up or anything. We're going to do some additive EQing, but you're going to see I'm not going to be doing it to every single instrument. Let's just check it out. So everything's pretty fine, but this instrument right here, I really kind of feel like it could come up, be brightened up a little bit and kind of separate it from everything else. So what I'm going to do here is click in here, and I'm going to EQ it while I'm listening to the rest of the track, because that's what you really want to do, is make sure that it's balancing out with everything else. Now you might ask, okay, well, why did you boost those frequencies compared to some frequencies over here to the far right or the far left? Well, I boosted really more so to some of those mid-range frequencies, because if you listen to some of the other instrument sounds, you have a lot of highs going on over here. So you don't want to add more highs to those other frequencies. Also, you want to give room to that bass and some of those lower end instruments to kind of shine through. So I don't want to boost those frequencies. So boosting some frequencies in the mid to high range is going to be better than in a super high range. So like 5K to 20K, you don't want to boost those as much. Now this one right here, this track, you can't really hear it that well in the mix as well. Now let's listen to it again all together. See how it's kind of, hidden in there? So what we could do is we could play around with some of those frequencies. All right, so now let's come over here to the snare. I feel like the snare could have a little bit more crackle in it. So what would we do? I feel like some of those mids could be boosted some. So I can come over here. See how that kind of boosted that, made that snare pop out just a little bit more? Let's kind of listen to that snare again. I'm going to turn the EQ off and listen to it. We'll see how much it's improved it. Now, for me personally, I found that less is more. As you notice, I'm not really doing an extreme boost on it. I found that sometimes it can actually mess up the mix rather than help it. So keep that in mind as you're mixing. And also keep in mind that a lot of times it does take hours of listening to your music, or maybe even just at least 30 minutes to an hour of, messing around with the different, features here. But for teaching purposes, I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of why you would boost certain frequencies and why you would cut others, and the whole aspect of only, adding or cutting away from a frequency if it actually needs it. And you can tell by how the instrument sounds compared to others, if it's tucked away in the mix, etc. Thanks for watching. Let's go ahead and go to the next lecture. I'll see you on the other side.